Hey guys, glad you're here. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my gear, why I bought my gear, and my philosophy behind buying gear, and probably some other stuff. Let's chat. We are going to talk gear today, but before we do, I'd like to address the screen you see behind my shoulder here. I'm toying with the idea of having the creators who influence me the most playing on this screen, just so I'm being transparent about who motivates me, and maybe it'll give me an opportunity in these videos to talk about something specific that they've influenced me in. But the reason Casey gets the screen today is because he has a philosophy about gear that I respect tremendously and agree with 100%. And that philosophy is, the best gear is the gear that you can afford at the time. The second part of Casey's philosophy about gear is that your gear should always serve your story because your story is the master. So with that being established, I'll move forward and talk about the gear that I saw was the best for my use on this YouTube channel. Let's start with the important part. I'm currently filming this on a Canon 80D. That camera came out of a video creator kit that I bought at Best Buy for $1,400. The kit came with the camera body, the lens I'm currently shooting on, the microphone I'm currently recording on, so I feel like this package serves my needs and the price tag was right for me. The kit started out at a much higher price, and I would have gone a different direction if I didn't get such a good price in the late part of 2017, but this is what I have. I've been planning this YouTube channel for about 3 months loosely and about 1.5 to 2 months seriously. One of the things I quickly established for myself was a budget of $2,000. Now I could have went a lot of different ways with the money that I established as my budget, but the path I chose, I felt like I was getting the best bang for my buck for the content that I wanted to make. And I think if you're watching this channel right now, then you're probably in a similar boat. So let's hop back to our philosophy. The best equipment is the equipment that you have right now or the equipment that you can afford right now, because your equipment only serves your story. So as I said before, the video creator kit that I got features the Canon 80D body and the 18-135 image stabilized USM lens. I know a lot of people would shame me for buying a 1080p camera in 2017 in the era of 4K, and one that only shoots 60 frames a second full HD slow-mo at that. But I don't care. This camera is going to perform perfectly for me until I'm ready to make my next move in 1 to maybe even 2 years. But I don't want this video to be a tech review, so let's move on. The next item on the list is the Røde VideoMic Go. And I will say, if I had more money, I wouldn't have bought this microphone. I would have bought the Pro or the Pro Plus. But at the end of the day, Røde is a tried and tested company in this industry, and this microphone is perfectly fine. I have it because it came with the video creator kit, but I'm looking forward to using it more and maximizing its capabilities before I look at a more expensive option. There are so many ways to get around not having the best equipment. One of the steps that I've taken to maximize the quality of this microphone's audio is making sure that everything that makes a noise in my apartment is off. Yeah, so here's the most obvious tip of the day. If you're looking to eliminate background noise with cheap microphones, make sure you're in a noise-free environment. So moving on from the mic, let's talk about my lights, which are free LEDs. I might spend money on lights one day, but for now, in the industry I work in, I come across enough spare parts for LEDs that I can zombify a couple different setups. When I'm done filming this video and continuity behind me doesn't matter anymore, I'll actually grab the camera and flip it around and show you the lights, and I'll put that clip here. So here is that lighting setup, guys. I have a square LED panel back here in the back that acts more like a fill light to make my whole face a little brighter than it normally is. And then I have this LED strip perched on this phone tripod to provide more directional and closer light to my face. My camera usually sits right here. And that leads me to talk about the last part of my kit, so to speak, that comes across in these videos, which is the software I edit in. I edit in Premiere Pro CC, which is part of the Adobe suite, of course. I happen to be subscribed to the full suite, but I know that's a lot of money for people, but I want to talk briefly about how I'm affording it. I mean, I have a decent job, I have disposable income, but looking at spending $50 extra a month on the Adobe suite was a little uncomfortable for me. So what I did is I looked at my monthly transactions on my bank account and looked at the ones that I really didn't find value in anymore. And you know what? I freed up $60 a month by just doing that. And now I'm putting 50 of that 60 towards the Adobe suite every month. I was actually thinking yesterday it might be time to re-download Spotify. And the last two things I'd mention in today's video, besides random photography filters and other accessories photography related, are the two tripods that I'm going to be using on this channel. The one I'm currently using is a Adobe Gorillapod Mini with an SLR ball head. Now, I wish I would have done more research before I bought this product because it's not as beefy as I would have hoped, but it's doing the job just fine. And the big boy tripod, which I haven't used on the channel yet, I will very soon. Of course, guys, I would have loved to have bought a huge Manfrotto package with a bunch of accessories that were cool bell and whistles, but I didn't want to spend the money. So what I did is I spent a lot of time researching the best tripod that you can get for the money, and I landed on the brand Magnus. The model that I have is called the VT4000, and if I'm not mistaken, it's their beefiest prosumer tripod. So guys, to close out this video, I'd like to share an observance that I had that I thought was pretty comical and kind of fits the vein of the philosophy I'm speaking about today. I came across an article by National Geographic, just thumbing through the news one day. It seems like they might do this article once a year, but what they did is they wrote a mini biography about their 10 most prolific photographers of the last year. One portion of that bio was their main camera. So in your head, just take a guess at how many of those 10 photographers were using top-of-the-line DSLRs to take their images. 2. Yep. Remember, we're talking about 2017's most prolific photographers for National freaking Geographic, and 2 were using top-of-the-line DSLRs, one Canon and one Nikon. Some people used film cameras from early last century. But you know what? We don't remember those people for their cameras. We remember those people for the stories they captured with the camera they had at the time. Hey, but don't just take that from me. Casey agrees too. See you next time. Thanks for checking in.